What's up, guys? Welcome to The Rewind. I'm Nick Major, and joining me today is one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Mr. Tony Vivio. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm excited, and I'm ready to be here.
That is what I like to hear. You know what makes me feel good and excited is free stuff. And before we get started on today's movie discussion, I wanted to make sure everybody knows that we have a free giveaway going on today, and that is a $15 Fandango card. If there's a movie in theaters you want to see, whether it's the one we're talking about today or any other movie, go see a movie on us. The way to be entered to win this is you subscribe to The Rewind on YouTube. You be sure to like this video, leave a comment below, and you will automatically be entered. So again, you just subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, you'll be entered to win a Fandango gift card from us. But I think it's time to talk about Ingrid Goes West.
Let's do it.
Ingrid Goes West stars Aubrey Plaza as Ingrid, a young woman whose life is consumed by an addiction to social media. After the sudden death of her mother, Ingrid comes into a substantial amount of money and decides to move west to Los Angeles to pursue a friendship with Taylor Sloan, an Instagram star played by Elizabeth Olsen that Ingrid has recently become obsessed with. Once moving to LA, Ingrid goes as far as stealing Taylor's beloved dog as an excuse to meet her face to face upon returning it, and what ensues is an entertaining, cringeworthy story with a dark, disturbing undertone. We literally just saw the movie, and we have made sure, as hard as it has been, to not talk about it with each other. Our lips have been sealed on the drive back from the theater. We were trying so hard not to talk about it. But you have been telling me about this movie for months. You have wanted to see it. I've made sure not to watch the trailer because even though I kind of know what the plot is, I wanted to be surprised by it. What did you think of this movie that you finally saw?
I thought it was great. I mean, this movie is something that is very much in the realm of like movies that I just gravitate towards. I love anything that's social satire. So since this movie is really kind of about what's going on in today's world, with the digital world of like social media, Instagram, I was excited about it. Not to mention it has really funny stars like Aubrey Plaza, Elizabeth Olsen, who's obviously up and coming still, and it even has O'Shea Jackson Jr., which I thought was really funny in the movie. But I think this movie covers a lot of ground of how we kind of see the world of just behind our phones, and I wanted to explore that, and I think the movie attacked that very well. It
was very relatable, especially on the Instagram stuff, because I would be laughing when I was watching it, because she would be watching TV, she'd have food in front of her, she was on the toilet, and she was always on her phone.
Double tapping.
And that's literally what I'm like.
The movie, I think a lot of people, if you don't know anything about it, is that it's comedy, but it's also kind of dramatic and also kind of thrillery in the sense of if you had a stalker, like the movie is showing you, it's kind of terrifying, but as a moviegoer, you will have a good time laughing at most of the things that is, you know, psychotic about Aubrey Plaza's character.
And there's a lot of kind of creepy moments, like when you see her going through the bathroom and going through this and that, but they kind of made it lighthearted at first because it was the happiest music part.
Right.
Do you remember that? It was always this upbeat, happy music while she was doing creepy stuff, and it kind of left the spirits high in it.
I know the movie really wants you to feel like you're kind of rooting for this girl to not be so, you know, I'm not going to use words that are obviously hurtful, but she's obviously lonely. She wants attention.
That's one thing that I know we both did agree on.
Yeah,
was that there wasn't enough backstory to why we knew that this girl was mentally the way she was.
A little bit unstable.
We saw her in this hospital. Right. We know her mother passed away. This is all very early on in the movie.
We understand when you lose a family member. Maybe that's a lot of the reason why people go a little, you know, off the rails. Maybe the filmmakers wanted to leave that open to interpretation, so you can go, maybe her whole life she's just been wanting to be accepted.
It didn't ruin the film because it was definitely interesting.
Exactly. It kind of leaves it open for room, which I'm okay with, but a part of you still wants to like, damn, I wish I just knew what this girl was really going through.
Let's talk about some of the acting in this, though.
Yes.
Let's talk about Elizabeth Olsen's character. Okay. She played the Instagram celebrity. She played, her name was Taylor Sloan in it. And in regards to Elizabeth's career lately, oh sorry, I think my dog wants to get down maybe. I felt it necessary to have Drac in this, everybody, because there is a dog present in the movie, so why not have a dog here? My dog, my son, on the set. Elizabeth Olsen has been killing it lately, and this showcased her as kind of this, you loved her but you hated her at times, full of herself, arrogant, kind of...
Very relatable. Very relatable. People who are very obviously popular on networks like Instagram or things like that. Someone like her who will be very friendly and very lovely, but also kind of conniving, and someone that you're just like, I don't want to be friends with her. She
did some cringeworthy stuff. There was this one scene in the movie where they were at a gas station, and they asked the guy there to take a picture of them, and she was like, "No, can you take another? Can you get lower? Can you get lower?" No, like
they made her get.
And you're just like, "Oh, why are you doing that?"
Like, you're asking a complete stranger. That's how scary we have become with this digital age. Everybody wants the perfect picture because the likes are what everybody is counting on. It's ridiculous.
And her character in this was so believable, I thought, for that. Whereas the last film I saw her in was Wind River, and in that, I don't think you've seen that yet.
I have not seen that one yet.
But she plays kind of like this FBI agent put out of her comfort zone in this
Totally
snow-covered
different.
city, and it is a totally different thing, and
Yeah.
it's so fun to see the projects that she has done lately. And I know you're a fan of her.
I
so
love Elizabeth Olsen.
elaborate for me on the variety of work she's done, kind of, because she's done big stuff, small stuff of like
Right.
every genre lately.
Right. What I'm fascinated by Elizabeth Olsen is that she kind of started in the independent world. She did very small movies that were made on dime budgets, practically did movies that were very, performance worthy. She got a lot of credit for it, and a lot of people could see that if you were in the independent world or like the film world who discover those small movies. And that was what she was known for. But of course, the more that you're talked about and the more that you do and the more work you put out and the more people you know, then you come up, and she started doing bigger movies like Godzilla and Avengers. But I love that she will do those big movies because it's a great step in the career, but also she sticks to what she loves and knows, and she goes back to the independent movies back and forth. So she can afford to do a movie like that, but she can also come back down like Wind River and this movie, Ingrid Goes West. So I think it's great that she's balancing the career of like, yes, I could do a big budget movie, but also do one that's made for practically nothing.
And what do you think of Aubrey?
I love Aubrey. I think she's funny. And if you know who Aubrey Plaza is and anything you've seen her in, she's obviously that socially awkward girl that loves to be in movies where just because of her dry sense of humor, it comes off so great. It's so funny. And we know her from that, from Parks and Rec and things like that. But this movie, I think, really kind of gave her that, door to really show us what she can do. I felt for her in times that she was sad, and I laughed at times when she was funny. Like, it was back and forth. You want to, like, cry, laugh.
O'Shea's character. So last movie I saw him was Straight Outta Compton.
Ice Cube's son.
He was playing his dad.
Yes.
He looks just like his dad.
Yes.
Throughout, every time he smiles, I see Ice Cube in it.
But I think it's cool that they cast O'Shea Jackson Jr. I felt like this role could have been cast, like anyone could have played it. But they picked somebody who, again, is sort of an unknown because we know him as Ice Cube's son, and he was in the movie Straight Outta Compton. But in this movie, he does a lot of fun things. It's not just like the dramatic side. Like
he's
we saw
nonstop vaping the entire movie. Speaking of the modern day people, he was
great.
vaping every second,
Vaping
which
is
I
a
loved.
huge thing.
I thought it was
Again,
hilarious.
The movie is relevant all around. What I love about this movie is that, again, this is probably, I think, his second film. We didn't really see him, so he is kind of an unknown in that sense. As an actor, we know him as Ice Cube's son, but in movies, this is like his second one. So it's understandable why they would go with someone like him. Not to mention, he's a good-looking guy, he's young, but the movie, I just thought his character was so funny. We got to see a little bit of a comedic side to him.
He did have some funny little
there was a
singers
lot
that
of fun stuff
the
for his
theater was
character.
laughing.
The Batman, all that stuff. I loved it. So I mean, we'll have that to like, it could be something that people can joke around if they watch this movie, but I thought he did a really good job with the movie.
So the whole movie, through and through, it was amusing. It was a fun plot, a clever plot.
It was.
Final thoughts on it and exactly what you thought of it?
I think the movie is something definitely worth checking out in theaters. It's definitely something you should take your friends with. I think it's a good time. You're gonna obviously feel for the characters, you're gonna laugh at the characters, you're gonna cry with the characters. You're gonna have an overall good time. The movie is definitely going to spark a lot of question by the end of it. I think you're going to sit there and kind of think afterward, you're just gonna have a lot to process.
We were both
which is what the movie wants you to do.
And we were both saying we actually think the very ending may be a little controversial.
Yes.
Without giving any of it away, when people get there, they'll know what we're talking
We
about.
won't spoil anything.
I'm not
of course.
offended by it.
No.
I understand why they did it,
Right.
but I won't imagine if some people are offended by it.
No, of course. And if you see the movie and you talk about the ending, I mean, that's something to talk about. I think that's what they did. Because they want you to question the film way after the credits are over. You're like, wow, if the movie had gone any differently, how could it have gone? No, I think they ended it just the way it should have been.
I'd recommend the movie. I thought it was an interesting plot. When you first told me, that's why I didn't watch the trailer, because I
Right.
knew I was going to see it. I loved the idea of a girl becoming obsessed with someone on Instagram, so she moved to go live near her, to try to meet her, to try to befriend her. I thought they did it in a very good way. So I loved it. Everybody, be sure to check it out. Ingrid Goes West. It is in theaters now. I think it's wide release, is it? Or at least...
Slowly but surely, I think it's building. But
And
it's,
if it's not, check it
probably
out when it
like
comes
somewhere
out.
near you.
And don't forget that if you want to see this movie, this is your chance to get a free Fandango gift card to go see this on the house. The house is the set of the Rewind, obviously. If you subscribe to the channel, if you like the video, and if you leave a comment below, you will automatically be entered to win the Fandango gift card. Not a bad deal, so just go leave a comment down there. Let us know what you thought of this. This is the first episode of this, by the way, so let us know in the comments below what you thought of this kind of film discussion. I've been looking forward to this. What do you think we could do better? What you think we could do worse? Although I'm sure we just did it all. We did it all perfect, right? But thank you so much for joining me today. Tony Vivio was my guest. Subscribe to the socials, where we'll be doing a lot of movie discussions as well as interviews. I'm once again Nick Major. This has been The Rewind, and thanks for checking it out.